As last year medical student in Medellín, Colombia. To pursue a medical career here in US, you have to do research. You have to work hard. After 3 months, I got the email of acceptance. Clerkships are hands-on, helpful to get the idea on how the US systems work. Opportunities are there, but you have to look for them. You have to bring something to the table.
That is the door to get into residency here in the United States. Iron sharpens iron, surrounded by giants. I really need to step up my game back to square zero, where you have to put the work in. Research makes you a better doctor. Keep yourself updated. See a gap, implement it.
And that was something that was unexpected. Everything in life is about persistence.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our MetaCast, the official podcast of the Meta-Analysis Academy. Right now, we're doing a special edition here at New Orleans. We are at the American Heart Association Scientific Sessions 2025. As you can see, I'm not Dr. Anderson. My name is Vinicius Pereira. I'm a medical doctor from Argentina, Brazilian, but did my medical school in Argentina. And today I have the honor and the privilege to be joined by my colleague here, Juan Pinilla. And we're going to be having a little chat. I wanted to kick this off just doing a little disclaimer that the MetaCast is not affiliated with any of the institutions we're going to mention, nor is it affiliated with any institutions that neither Juan or myself work in or have previously worked in. So having gotten that out of the way, Juan, my friend, it's so nice to have you here.
Thank you very much. I'm really honored to be here. Really happy to be here in New Orleans presenting my work at the HA, and honored to be invited to the MetaCast.
Oh man, it's our pleasure to have you here. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Of course, I have had the honor of working closely with you in the past, but let's tell our viewers a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So as last year medical student in Medellín, Colombia, I'm graduating next year, 2026. I have the opportunity at the Meta community to be a tutor and a mentor. And since last year, I've been able to develop a lot of projects by myself, being first author and also co-author, and being able to work with multiple universities here in US and also getting clerkships. And I think all that we're going to talk here, I'm going to tell you guys how I was able to get all those opportunities and what the Meta Academy means to me.
All right, that's so awesome. Juan here is one of the pioneers together with me who helped us bring the Meta-Analysis Academy to the Spanish-speaking people. Some of you might know, I hope you guys know about this, but we now offer the Meta-Analysis Academy in Spanish. I myself teach the classes. Juan was the first tutor that helped me with the tutoring session. Yeah. So it was a great endeavor having our fellow Spanish-speaking community with us. But yeah, tell me about your journey here as a student. You know, it's crazy. It's always crazy to listen that we have students from all over the world coming here at American Heart Association presenting their posters. You said you were in the last year, right? You graduated in 2026. So if you wanted to share your journey with us, how did you get involved with research? What are your plans? And so on. What brought you to New Orleans?
So to begin, my main goal is to pursue a medical career here in US, internal medicine residency. And to do that, you know, guys, that you have to do research,
of course,
and you have to have a good CV, but you have to work hard. And since the early years in my career, I knew that I wanted to come here. But the research opportunities in my country and in my environment weren't that easy to get. Normally, you spend a lot of time in the lab, or you are asking professors or mentors to be with you, to help you, but they are busy. They have to work, or
more like begging for a research opportunity, right?
Yeah, kind of. And that's when the Meta Academy came in. I saw like an Instagram ad about Randerson, and I was very interested. And a friend told me about the Meta Academy, but he really didn't got the course. He just told me that it existed, and did my research, and I found that it was pretty legit, and I began the course.
I always find that funny. People are like, I gotta do my research first to see if this is actually all true, which is, by the way, this is not
Yeah.
any sort of organization. We have results. I mean, you're seeing us here, but it's always funny to me. The same happened to me. I saw the ad, was like, are these results actually from people? And they are.
Yes, they are. And just a quick note, yeah, they are, but it's important for people that do not think that this is like easy. You know, we have to work hard.
Oh, of course. Yes, sir.
We have everything we need in the Med Academy, and I think there's no other place in the internet that you will get like the step-by-step guide to do meta-analysis in such impactful and good way. But you have to work hard. It's not like you just got in the course and you get a publication. No.
Oh, you're not given anything.
Yeah,
you got to work towards it.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah, absolutely. And from then, I started like around a year and a half ago the academy, and started going to the tutoring sessions, meeting people. Actually, the Meta Academy people is amazing. The Meta community. It's really something unique, in my opinion, the way that you can connect with people from all around the world. And the people is really, really, really engaged to connect, to work. Like, it's really hard working people. Like you guys from Brazil, you know, the Meta Academy started everything in Brazil with Randerson, but now it's global and it has...
We're a global phenomenon.
Yeah.
We're moving everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that environment helped me get so much better at everything. You know, like Meta Academy helped me improve my English, helped me improve my leadership, helped me improve how to get clinical ideas, clinically relevant ideas, how to think better to get ideas. And then when I was doing the tutoring sessions, I met a mentor, one of my mentors that is here from Louisiana. I met her in the tutoring sessions, and actually my first idea was with her. I asked her after a tutoring session if she will be interested in collaborating with me, and in that way I was able to collaborate with her. She's a cardiologist here.
Oh, she's a cardiologist here in Louisiana. And after tutoring session, you approached her and decided to work together on the idea.
Yeah,
it is so nice. We have been talking throughout the night about how research can get you real connections with people, and you get to see this new, let's call it this new face, this new environment where people are really willing to help you if you have something to show for it, and if you have the initiative, the drive to go and listen. I want to work on this. I'm at your service. I have done this, especially if you have something to show for it, as I just said. And you will find out that people are really, really kind and willing to share their knowledge, right? I think we were just this afternoon with one of the experts here enjoying a nice dinner, and it blows me away how you can find such good people whenever you have a common goal, because everybody wants to do research right here in our Meta community, and so there's not stepping on other people's toes or crushing each other's dreams just to get to the top. It's more like okay, give me your hand, let's do this together.
Yeah, absolutely.
And would you look at that? After tutoring session, you got to meet somebody and collaborate with them. That's so nice.
Yeah.
And after that first initial interaction, how did it go from there?
So after getting my first project, that normally is the hardest one, like for everyone that's going to be on the Meta Academy or is already in there and it's seeing us. The first project is normally the hardest one,
I am still struggling to get my first paper published. It's been a year on revision, and it's not published yet. It's in production, so I have had the green light from the journal saying, okay, we're going to publish it, but it's not out yet. a year. So I get you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's kind of helps you get through the way of doing that hard work that you don't know know how to do. Maybe you don't know how to lead. because nobody teaches you to lead. You have to start leading without even knowing sometimes, getting through the limitations of your paper. Even from the beginning, I was always trying to get more people into my team. So when I finished that project, I already knew some people that I wanted to work with in my next projects. For example, one of my main co-authors is Sebastian Jaramillo. That is, I think it's from university, and
he's from my same university. Yes, sir. And funny thing, when he was getting into the Meta-Analysis Academy, he actually spoke to me and was like, should I join? I want to do a career in the US. Do you recommend it? I was like 100%, 1,000%.
1,000%.
He's a great guy. He's a great guy.
Yeah, and I knew he was brilliant. Actually, he is also a tutor and a mentor in the academy. And that way, I think that you kind of know who you like or who you don't like. And from then, I started inviting people to my research ideas, good people that I knew that I would like to work with. And then it came the fun part, publishing, actually getting to know mentors. So as you said before, opportunities are there, right? But you have to look for them. Yeah, you have to bring something to the table. You have to come with an opportunity. You have to open yourself. As Randerson always says, you have to give your opportunity yourself to the mentor. I was talking today with some amazing cardiologist, Dr. Bono, and he told me that the mentors are there, but you just have to look for them. Get out of your comfort zone, and that's actually what also Randerson told us.
There's no growth inside the comfort zone.
Yeah, exactly. And then I emailed mentors. My first paper in a top journal in catheterization and cardiovascular interventions was with one of the heads of one of a really important organization of interventional cardiology in France, and he's such a amazing mentor and humble mentor, and I was able to contact him because I bring my opportunity. I emailed my idea. I said what I wanted to do. I showed my dad. I had everything ready, but I needed his guidance. And in that way, in that mindset of getting my opportunities but bringing something to the table, I was able to connect with him. And actually, something that I'm very proud of. That project for me, it's something of the great achievements I have accomplished this year.
And congratulations. I mean, getting a paper published in such a top journal, a Q1 journal in interventional cardiology, one of the best in the area, as a final year medical student is just mind-blowing. Yeah. So hats off to you, sir. I know of your work ethic. You're just a top-notch guy who works a lot and has incredible results. I really like what you said about knowing who to work with, right? You got to find people who are willing and who are not only willing to do the work, but even, I would say, the environment shapes us so much. I really like that phrase, iron sharpens iron, where it's funny. Back in October, we're at MRCC, right? This conference, medical research and career conference. Beautiful talks on career development and all that. And I was sitting with all the people from Meta-Analysis Academy. We have Eric, we have Vanyo there, Davi, all of the guys. And I'm not even going to the extremes of mentioning Amanda, Pedro, Larissa, all of them. And I felt like I was the smallest in the room. Like I was surrounded by giants, right? Yeah. And this thing of the environment shaping us and leading us to become better and trying to get on their level. I know I'm not going to get on their level. That's period. That's it. But just thinking of getting better and trying to get those publications in and having the the methodological thinking of those guys, just like, wow, I really need to step up my game. And then you're back to square zero where you have to put the work in. And I that really resounded with me. And I think that this mindset for you has worked out great, right? Because you're telling me you're having collaborations with people after a tutoring session, you're connecting with people in a conference, and you're sending cold emails, getting collaborations from people in France at top institutions.
Yeah.
You're leading the way, man. How's that change your career for the better right now?
So I think it has changed my career completely. So 1.5 years, I wouldn't even imagine living this here at, for example, AHA, having publications, having a future here. I am really seeing a future here in US. And also personally, like I have been getting better at leading, at public speaking, at English.
You're here doing a podcast in English.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you look at that?
Yeah, at administrative tasks, and also in my local university, you get more opportunities there. You are able to work with seniors. People start to recognize that you're going, for example, to AHA, that you're getting papers published, and that opens doors for you.
Absolutely. That resounds with me as well, in the sense that, I'll probably say the same. 1.5 years ago, or a little more, a little less, give or take, I was in a similar spot where I had a dollar and a dream. I wanted to do things. I wanted to come here to the US and publish, because as you said, we need research, right? We got to be competitive people, because it's already a 50-50 chance of matching. You might as well try to make that a 60 to become a better applicant. And so in my university was that same thing you said in the beginning. You got to beg for your research opportunity. Oh, please, can I do this lab here? Can I participate in this? And they would say no, because the only thing you want to do is get a publication here, and then you're going to leave us for the US. I was told that to my face one time. I had an interview process, and the end point of that meeting was to tell me, you're going to leave for the US because that's your plan, and we don't want you here. And so I was really frustrated with that. And then I met the Meta-Analysis Academy, started publishing, started getting abstracts in international conferences, publishing my own work. After a while, you start to get citations, and people back home in my university, whenever I was doing my last year, but then this was last year in my internship, we have our internship in the 6th year, right? They were like, oh, this is the guy that publishes. He publishes papers, he's in circulation. And so perspective changes and doors start to open. And I think that's such a beautiful thing. For us, I wouldn't even call it early career, right? We're baby careers. You're not even through the door yet. You're yet to get your MD, and being like this in the international stage, if you're there at your home thinking of joining, or thinking if your idea is worth it to publish, look at us and look how far you can make it, right?
Absolutely.
And so has there been anything related to the US? You mentioned clerkships in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Have you gotten anything out of publications in regards to helping your clinical career here in the States?
So, actually, my university has an amazing program with an university in Texas, and you have to apply to do a clerkship of 5 months, okay? And you need your TOEFL, and you need your CV, and you have an interview, right? Like you have to do a pitch, and you have to get selected, because it's a lot of people applying there.
You gotta sell your fish,
exactly.
As Dr. Anderson would say.
Exactly. And I remember that even before the interview, the senior that ran the program called me to congratulate me personally.
Oh my God!
I didn't even know if I was going to get selected or not, but for me it was amazing.
Oh, if you got a call from the man himself, that's wow.
Yeah, and he congratulated me because he told me that getting publications as first author in peer-reviewed journals is not something that you see every day.
It's huge.
It's huge. And
We normalize that nowadays because our friends are doing it left and right, and you see Maria Defante publishing the 1,000 papers, and you're like, oh yeah, that's just the run of the mill, where it isn't actually.
Yeah.
And so the guy called you and congratulated you on your CV.
Yeah. He told me that he has been doing this around 30 years, and that he told me that it's pretty uncommon to see that, and that he really was interested. And I told him how I was able to get everything, and I told him how the Med Academy was an opportunity for me to show that if you do hard work and persistence.
It was only the catalyst. The workhorse was there. Just had to find the spark to ignite the flame.
Yeah, and then I applied. I went through the interview. I waited. I really didn't know if I was getting accepted or not, because it's a very competitive spot.
I can imagine, yes.
And it's just one person by semester. So after a month or 2-3 months after doing the application, I got the email of acceptance. And
congratulations, man! It makes me so happy.
Yeah, I'm very happy. So I'm very excited to be there and to know everything and to learn.
Be a sponge, yes, and I mean, that is the door to get into residency here in the United States.
Yeah,
I mean, if the senior of the chair of the program already called you and was like, "Hey, you're a unicorn. You're getting in." I figure that if you do that, and I'm sure you will do a good job in these 5 months, they will want you to stick around, right? You're gonna have some good letters of recommendation for you, and you're gonna do great.
Yeah. I hope to do great. I really want to learn to be able to. I think clerkships, as you know, guys, clerkships are different from observerships because you have the hands-on experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I think clerkships are really helpful to get the idea on how the U.S. systems works. As a medical student from Latin America, you don't get quite good enough how does being a doctor here works,
Oh yes, you'll get to learn the ins and outs of the system. I'm sure they'll give you, I don't know if they use what patient medical records they use there, but you get familiar with Epic even before you're starting your residency, and you know how to type your notes, you know how to present patients, and that is and again, 5 months you'll be running with a lot of clinical experience before the MASH process comes around. You already have a great CV, 5 months of clinical experience. Who wouldn't want you in their program? Like, and that's really true what you're saying. Like, we're from Latin America, we don't have that much experience. I think we don't know actually how things work over here until we come here and we're like, oh, okay. The one thing that blew my mind just when I did my first time around here in the US was how different clinic works. Because correct me if Colombia is different, but in Argentina and Brazil, if we have clinic, the doctor usually stays in the office and calls the patients to their office, right? And you see the patient, and they always talks to us like, you gotta think of diagnosis even before the patient has come into the clinic. And in the US, it's different. The doctor goes to where the patient is in the examination room. And so you only learn that through experience, as you said. Yeah. It's, wow. I'm really blown away by the fact that the guy called you. That's so great.
Yeah, no, he's an amazing, humble, brilliant guy. I'm really grateful to him. And I think, as you said before, that's the environment in academic and scientific, physician scientific life.
Yeah.
Everyone is trying to get better. Everyone is trying to connect, to do a great job, to do research in a way that you help your patients.
That's one of the things I like the most about whenever you apply research in that way, right? Because one of the great things I think is that I personally think that research makes you a better doctor. And I'm not saying that doctors who don't do research are terrible doctors, by no stretch of the imagination. But I think that if you're always trying to come up with the best treatment, or if you're trying to keep yourself updated on the guidelines, on the newer papers, if you see a gap in your patient population, you're like, these people are not getting better with this drug. What can we do? And you go and look in the literature and you're like, okay, let's do this. People in Holland are trying this. Okay, let's implement it. I think it makes you a better doctor.
No, absolutely. And doing research always is going to help you to understand the papers that you're reading.
Of course.
A lot of people maybe don't even know how to read different meta-analysis, network bias, and even know if they are well conducted or not. So, and every type of research, I think that it's going to help you kind of understand how people got the results on that paper, and being able to apply it with confidence or not in your clinical practice.
Speaking of that, you just brought an interesting point. How is research back home for you? I know we said about the opportunities of doing research as medical students, but let's switch it into the clinical practice. How's that in Colombia? Are people used to doing research and they're like, okay, the guideline says this, or are they more on the side of, I've been doing this since I was a resident, this is how we're going to treat this case?
So I am not able to speak outside my university, but every person, I will say it, in my career, for me, it's really, really, really adherent to guidelines and new evidence.
That's refreshing to hear.
Yeah. They like a lot. It's very academic, actually.
Oh, that's great.
And it's actually amazing because although we don't have the most strong research in the world, like here in US or Europe, they are updated, always keeping for the new evidence, keep looking for what they can do. And I do want to mention that in my case, I think that Colombian doctors are clinically brilliant, and they are top-notch healthcare physicians.
Providers. I've heard great things about the Colombian. I haven't had the chance to personally work with a Colombian doctor, but just last week I was shadowing a physician who's from Peru, and we were talking about Latinos here in the US. He was like, man, I miss working with Colombian doctors. They are brilliant. They know a lot of stuff. They're used to the practice, and they're fast. And then he started derivating and talking about other stuff, but I was impressed, and now I see why, because you're telling me that even back home, of course, there's a selection bias, and myself have a selection bias towards my university and towards what I've seen in my clinical years. But to know that they're actually pushing forward and doing evidence-based medicine is great to hear, because at least in the I train my university is a private institution, and I trained there in the learning aspect, but then going out in my internship year and during my formative years in clinic, I was in the public sector and I've always enjoyed that, getting to see different patients. But whenever you try to mention that, hey, maybe we shouldn't be using this treatment, there are better things, and I'm not even talking about the cost effectiveness of it. It's like, you're hurting his kidneys because of this antibiotic treatment, and they will be like, no, you don't get a say here, you're just an intern. Or even, in the day-to-day clinic, and like, he has this blood pressure reading, shouldn't we do something about it? Nah, we're not. Well, okay. And so it's awesome to hear the different perspective, even from the same Latin America.
Yeah. As I said before, you just see a part of every doctor in Colombia, but I do think that we are trying to focus always on the newest evidence and trying to apply that. But I came back to the topic because I do think that it will be great for Latin America to have more research opportunities, because I think that our community is brilliant, and Brazilians are brilliant too. If you see the MedAcademy main community is from Brazil, and you see a lot of results. So what is that saying? That you guys are brilliant as well. So I would really like to see in the future. I would love to see in the future if we as countries here in Latin America are able to develop research and to show the world that how brilliant we are.
I think we are paving that way. Well, just put a lot of responsibilities in our shoulder, but I think Dr. Renderson has trailblazed that path.
Yeah.
Brazil, just I think it was last month or 2 months ago, where the public health system, SUS, changed a ruling on the neonatal device because of a meta-analysis of us that a student published, was a testament to what you're saying. We have the as we say in Spanish, tenemos la madera. We have the wood to carve something great out of it. We're just missing the opportunities. And I think that if people like you keep showing up, showing the good work, and becoming top-notch references out there, it's going to be a natural process. Of course, we are quite a few years behind, but someday, maybe, when we are mid-careers or late careers, we'll be sitting on the other side of the room being like, well, things have changed. We've made it.
Yeah. And ultimately, it will help patients too. Like,
oh, yeah.
Here, they will help patients in Colombia, in Brazil. Research will always be for the patients, in my opinion.
Completely agree. And people are, I think the most reluctant people are like, oh, but it's too expensive to do research. Nothing good is going to come out if I don't have $1 million to put into it.
No.
It's not true, right?
Yeah, not true.
And so you're saying you have a clerkship coming up, but what's the future for you in regards to your career now that you are almost a foot out of the door? What are your next plans, goals?
So my next goals are to do step 1 and step 2. Actually, I haven't took those exams. And after getting that out of the way, I think I will decide whether to apply for the match. Probably 2027 or 2028, one of those years. And hopefully match here. I am actually, as I said before, pursuing a career here. As you guys may know, here we are at AHA, so I'm interested in cardiology.
There's a little bias there towards cardiology, of course.
Yeah, of course. My final dream, to be honest, is being a physician scientist, cardiologist.
Any subspecialty in cardiology that you like?
Not really. I haven't thought that far. I think
All right, fair enough.
Being a cardiologist is more than enough for me. I dream about myself being with my students, being with that academic setting,
right?
Trying to make everyone better. I do like, for example, as I said before, I have been a tutor and a mentor about a year.
You like the education side of it?
Yeah, I love education, and I love how you see people grow. And it's the joy that you have to see that you were able to help just as this little, but you were able to put as we say in Spanish, granito de arena.
Granito de arena.
Yeah,
señor.
Absolutely. Like that little help there, that it's going to make that person better. For me, that's more than enough. For example, I had this student named Josterlin that he published a paper around 2 weeks after finishing MedAcademy, and he got back to me and he said, thank you so much for your advice. Thank you so much for your guidance. Thank you. Because these phrases, and he told me the phrases that he remembered for me. And for me, that was like, I couldn't even imagine the impact that I was having in the people back then when I was doing my tutoring sessions. And for me, that's really, really, really inspiring. And that's what I dream of, being in academic setting, cardiologist, making everyone better, making the best work for my patients. And yeah,
my eyes just got sparkly because this thing of teaching. I've always liked teaching in university, and then of course Meta-Analysis Academy, being a tutor just like you. And it's so nice and so rewarding, like seeing whenever a student gets back to you and they're like, thank you so much, I'm here presenting at this conference, I really appreciate your advice and this and that. Like, wow. And now imagine Dr. Anderson, like, because he must get 1,000 of these a day from all over the world. And being able or feeling like you're actually making an impact, not only for a patient, because we will do that sometime, but multiplying it, because we're doing that to a physician. And how many patients is that physician going to treat?
Exactly.
And so I don't think it's the butterfly effect, but the multiplier effect, it's 10-fold, 100-fold. It's one of the most interesting things, at least for me as well, in education, medical education. I think that it's such a cornerstone. And thankfully, here in the US, they value that a lot, right? They really like the teaching. You get to be a teaching resident, a teaching fellow, and you get recognized for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think besides that, being a good person is like always the first priority, like being a good person, working hard. But yeah, teaching is something that it's really valued and you really enjoy it. If you are interested in teaching, I think you won't regret it.
Definitely. And I'm 1,000% sure that will make a positive impact in your CV. Education, whatever it may be, always does a positive impact on our CVs, for sure. And just to go back to the AJ real quick, I wanted to get your insights on your journey this time around. This was your first international conference, right?
Yeah.
How's the experience been so far? How are you finding it?
So really, really, really honored. As I said in the beginning, I was amazed to see the people in there. You know, you see the big names, the ones that you see only on books when you are studying.
The editors, yes,
everything, and then you also see which type of person they are. They are not like
untouchable.
Yeah, untouchable. They are very human. They are very humbled. I remember this senior earlier this afternoon talking about Stoicism, the philosophy about Stoicism, Marcus Aurelius, and getting to know that human side of them, getting to be able to connect and to not only that, but to see that how the worlds work, because you here in this conference you get a lot of people from everywhere around the world, and it's huge. It's such a huge place.
You have to walk 10 minutes to get from place to place.
Yeah, I have in my iPhone that like I saw, and I had like 10,000 steps. So yeah. So, but yeah, it's science. It's inspiring. It's emotional. It's demanding mentally and physically, but such an honor, and it's something that I'm proud of, because when you check, for example, I sent 4 projects and I only got accepted 1, even though the other 2 ones are already accepted for publication. But you will think that it's just an abstract, but it really takes work to be here. And
it does, absolutely.
And it's huge.
It's very rewarding.
Yeah.
You put the work in, and then you have to wait. And you're like biting your nails, thinking, oh my gosh, am I going to be accepted?
Yeah.
And then your friends start to get the email saying, oh, congratulations, you got in. And you're like, I haven't gotten it yet. But it's very rewarding. That talk you said in the afternoon, where they were talking about Stoicism and Marcus Aurelius, was very touching. And then the other one, and I think this is my favorite thing of the early career days, where you get to have a chat or listen to the editors from Jack, Gemma, Circulation, and see that they're human and they actually care about what they're reading, and you see this great side, and they're like, guys, we want to publish you, but one, we have 9 people looking over your paper and actually debating if it's going to be worthy of publication and whatnot. But seeing the process through another eyes and getting the chance actually to talk to them and ask a question, be like, hey, listen, what should I do if I want to stand out, or something like that, is really inspiring to me.
Yeah.
To me too. Yeah, it's a great opportunity. But about your presentation, want to talk a little bit to our friends at home about
absolutely.
what you're presenting?
So I am presenting a systematic review meta-analysis. It's actually a prognostic meta-analysis. As you know,
this guy knows statistics, by the way.
Yeah. we learn a lot of methods in the Meta Academy. It's not just pairwise meta-analysis. We learn prognostic, network meta-analysis, Bayesian network meta-analysis, and different kind of focuses for developing our ideas. And I really wanted to do a prognostic meta-analysis on CHD, so congenital heart disease. So you know that patients with congenital heart disease are prone to have surgery at an early age and have structural defects. So those factors are a risk factor for infective endocarditis, right? And they tend to get infective endocarditis at an earlier age compared to the ones that do not have congenital heart disease, that are normally older and are associated with pacemaker or a prosthetic valve or something inside the heart, or comorbidities.
Mm-hmm.
But you really don't know. We really didn't know by sure how they behave. Like, how do patients with congenital heart disease behave compared with those who do not have, because they are really a different population, right?
Yeah. Didn't have the numbers.
Yeah.
And you went to look for those numbers.
Yeah, I went to look for those numbers. I found that you have patients that are adults, but you have also pediatric patients. As the pediatric cardiologist earlier mentioned in the meeting, in pediatrics we have less numbers because
yes, sir, it's a real struggle to get going.
It's a real struggle to get going in pediatric cardiology, but we were able to pull outcomes for both populations, and I think this is a great project. I think it's going to be published, and we found that they behave pretty different across age groups. And we found that patients that are adults do have a better long-term prognosis in terms of mortality compared to those. The ones that have congenital heart disease have a better prognostic, let's say, side. They have a better prognosis than the ones that do not have. And that was something that was unexpected. And then we went to the hypothesis, we went reading, and we found that they are younger, they have less comorbidities, they have a better functional or physiologic reserve, and they have a stricter or closer follow-up than patients who are older, sicker, and with more comorbidities. And we think that that's the reason behind our findings. But in children, we did find that patients with congenital heart disease tend to die more, especially due to complex cases, because in pediatrics,
very procedural complications of the cases. Right. That is very interesting insights. Ladies and gentlemen, you just got to prick his brains out a little bit, the thought process behind this machine here. Fingers crossed you get a great publication out of it. I mean, it sounds astronomically great. I'm sure it'll be published in a great journal. It was a great chat. We're coming up here in our end. I just want to remind everybody at home that the MetaCast is not affiliated with any of the institutions we have worked in, or previously worked at, nor is it affiliated with any of our universities that we talked about as well. And Juan, it was great having you here. It was a lovely chat with you. If you had one final advice for the people at home that want to pursue a career in the States, or want to actually come here and present an abstract at AAJ, and they are still students, what do you have for them? So
my final and best advice that you have you can apply everywhere in life is that people that succeed is not the smartest, it's the people that persevere. And I think you and me are here because we persevered, we persisted, we fought for our ideas, for our projects, and everything in life is about persistence. This journey, medicine, is about persistence.
That is just great. You just heard it from the man himself. Guys, if you don't follow the MetaCast, we always have this great mind-blowing chats where we discuss careers, research, we discuss clinical pathways to the US and careers internationally, in Italy, in Poland. We just talked with Dr. Victor here just a while ago, talking about Polish research opportunities and all of that. So if you're not subscribed, please do so. We would be pleased to have you. If you haven't signed up for the Meta-Analysis Academy, don't forget to do so. We always have a wait list waiting for you. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next episode. Thank you so much.